Welcome everyone to a new devlog episode about my game Extermination, and oh boy do we have a lot of things to cover today. I'm talking new blocks, new AI, new progression system, and even some sounds. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. The first change is small, but I'll mention it anyways. You now gotta use your trigger finger, as the pistol now only shoots once per click. It's funny that I'm thinking about balance in a game that only has one kind of enemy, but that will change soon. Next, I brought back my dusty drawing board and drew a nice but simple health bar for the base. And I wanted to make a Wolfenstein/Doom-like health status for the player. But then I realized I can't draw, but I went with it anyways. But then realizing that the code I wrote for the base health bar wasn't as reusable as I thought, I decided to stick with it and just use the new drawings as a head for the player, and ditch the whole health bar completely. Don't look too closely at it though, because you will notice some obvious flaws. Adding sounds to my game is usually the last thing I do, but I have come to realize that it is an important part of making the game satisfying to play. And since I decided when starting this project that I was not going to use any assets that aren't mine, I had to make the sounds myself. As stupid as it may look, I think it makes for okay menu sounds. There are a few sounds that go into a menu, so I was able to cut some corners to make it all work, but I'll have to make a more robust sound system for the game when attacking the actual game sounds. And it is probably going to look even worse recording those sounds.
Wow!
One of the big improvements into the game is a complete overhaul of the AI system. I now have much better control over the different behaviors. What I do is that I have a stack containing objects derived from an interface, which means that I can push whatever behavior I want on the stack and have the behaviors add or remove from the stack based on the game state. In practice, the biggest changes are that the enemy will be split between targeting the player and the base at around 50-50%. If an enemy gets hit, it has a 30% chance of going berserk on you, which basically means he runs towards you, ignoring obstacles for a few seconds before going back into chase mode again, which uses pathfinding. So building your way up into a tower won't be effective because they will just go and destroy your base and you'll lose. So don't try. Next, I added the wave system, but it's hard to show in a video without a PowerPoint presentation, and nobody got time for that. So here's a short clip instead to show you how I work on the game. Why am I multiplying every value with the delta time? I could just multiply with the velocity before adding it to the position. Shit, I've spent an hour on this, what's wrong? We got the player update, entity physics, collision detection. Collision detection? No. No.
2 hours later.
No. Last but certainly not least, done are the days where you had to jump and time your shots to hit the enemies and not your blocks. With a new great block, you will be able to shoot through without damaging it, which opens up for new strategies. The block is slightly weaker than the crate block, but will cost more. This also gave me the idea of adding the block health points to the pathfinding path costs. The enemy will choose to target the weaker block. I am not looking forward to seeing all the ways my clever systems are going to be abused by you guys. But I'll fix this with prices, new ranged enemies, and maybe even flying enemies. If you have any suggestions, I'd love to read them in the comments below. This brings us to the end of the list of the new features in the game. I will now start working on the economy system, making the enemies drop gold or some kind of currency when they are killed that you can collect, and a shop where you can spend that currency to buy building materials, weapons and defenses, and maybe even traps and turrets. Please subscribe if this sounds like fun, and I'll see you in the next devlog. Bye bye.